Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of the Hockey Mountain High podcast. I'm Griffin Youngs, joined by Christian Bolle. As always, August marches on. It is the end of August. We're almost in September. We're almost there. We're almost done. We're a little over a month away from the beginning of the regular season, training camp, even less than that. We've almost made it to the doldrums. Christian, how's the offseason been treating you?
Not well. No, I'm kidding. It's been fine. We are at that point of the year where I feel like a scorned wife because Griffin has been so busy that I never hear from him anymore. And I sent him like a very funny picture of what I did to CSU in Michigan in college football, and all I got was sounds about right. So we're just at that point in the offseason. I'm a scorned lover. My
Sorry, man. I didn't know this bothered you so much. No. You didn't have to wait till we were live to air out our dirty laundry.
No. But I do. It's we're at that point of the year where you're just running around. You've got 90 bajillion projects going. You were in a helicopter one day, like you're just all over the place. But we're almost done with it. The offseason, like you said, we got a little over a month until puck drop for the Avs. And God, I can't wait for it, man. Like we're at that point in the offseason too with me where I've watched like everything that I wanted to watch of like Netflix wise, like all the documentaries I've been putting off and all that stuff. And now I'm just kind of like, all right, I'm ready for some hockey. Like I went back and watched Game 5 against the Wild, just the highlights of that game. And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm ready.
Hockey, it just almost feels like such a foreign concept at this point. It feels like this offseason feels like it hasn't been that long, but it's also been like the longest one I can remember in a while, even though it's technically shorter than the ones we've done in previous years. I think everything from the Wild series on just felt numb especially during the Vegas series. So I just count that as part of the offseason. So that was early May even. So I feel like I've just been off of this thing for like 3.5 months. I barely even know what the sport is anymore.
Yeah, it's going to be like the first couple practices are going to hit like crack, just seeing all the guys out there getting ready for the season. Like it's just we're getting there. And it's to that point too where like I was on Instagram and there was an Avs fan page that was like the 7 hottest takes for the Avs. I'm like, okay, cool. We're at this point in the offseason where we're going hot takes. The one that I thought was I want it to be true. It was Svechnikov's going to have 20 goals and 40 points.
Ooh.
I was like, if that's true, the Avs may not lose a game in the regular season. That if you're getting your fourth line center 40 points, that's absolutely insane.
I'm on like the 20 goals there. It's like, how is he even going to get that much ice time to put 20 in the net? I hope so.
They had that, and then Parker Kelly was going to score 20 again. So I was like, so from your bottom 6, you're going to get 40 goals from 2 guys. Okay.
Are we ever losing?
I want that to happen. Realistically, it's not, but I want it to happen very, very badly. And then the other one was Nazem Kadri gets traded at the trade deadline. I was like, no.
How does that work?
Yeah, that's just not happening. Like he's not getting moved. He's going to finish his career with the Avs. Like not just because I don't think he can be traded, but also he has a no trade clause, right?
It's modified, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like he's not getting moved. Like I was just like, that is a hot take. But that's where we are in the offseason. We're in hot take season.
Yeah. I mean, we realistically haven't done episodes like this before. We've usually just done like the player review series. Yeah. So usually in the dead of the offseason, we're just not even talking about it at this point. So this is a new experience for us having to try and fill airtime during it. But, we can talk about something that we haven't talked about before this offseason, the Cale Makar extension. Have we brought this up yet?
Maybe once or twice.
I think so. Yeah. Does anyone know Cale is like up for extension? I don't feel like we're having enough people talk about it.
No, I really don't. Like it has been on the back burner the entire summer. I didn't even know, like you said, he was up for an extension.
Yeah. I mean, could be a lot of money based on what we're talking about. This Cale guy's pretty good.
Yeah, he's pretty solid. So yeah, it's been probably like a month since we've talked about it in depth, but there actually was not really news, but we got comments about it from Joe Sakic.
We had Sakic discuss the contract, which I think is almost where the conversation ends because he really didn't do anything beyond bringing up the concept of the contract entirely. Joe Sakic, now general manager of the Colorado Avalanche as of June, answered some questions before the alumni game between the Avs and the Pioneers. And He basically said that when asked about the Makar contract negotiations, we continue talking, and I'm pretty confident that he'll be signed before the season starts. He says some more, but that one sentence, I feel like I've been on social media and seen that broken down 20 which ways of he's downgraded to pretty confident. That's not a good sign.
You couldn't bother me with it, man. Like, I just can't be bothered with it because they've been planning for this contract. Like, they've built their cap around what Cale Makar's next contract's going to be, and I just think it's completely different than the Mikko situation. Like, everyone's
it's not even remotely the same.
Yeah, it's not even remotely the same. Where, like, yeah, we had just the naiveness of like, oh, there's no way they trade Mikko. And you go back and look at it and you go, actually, it made complete sense why they traded him, like, cap wise, because you had the Cale contract coming up, because you had all this. Like, it made sense. We were just naive to it, and we were like, oh, there's no way they'd move off Mikko.
Yeah,
I'm so confident that Cale Makar is going to sign before the season starts that I really just the comments he had to make was, I think, more just like, hey, we're not just like sitting on our hands here. We're talking. It's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the thing that's changed for me the most from the beginning of the offseason to now is Cale is not signing for 8 years.
No.
I would have said that that's going to happen before the offseason started. Then obviously we talked about the deadline in mid-September for the new CBA. Sounds like now that's not really a concern, at the very least, in terms of getting him signed for 8 years. Also, doesn't really make sense for players to sign 8-year contracts right now with the way the salary cap is going.
Not with the way the salary cap's going, and you're going to get freaking 2 new teams by the time Cale's next contract's up, it sounds like. So there's no, like, fiscally, it makes more sense just to sign a 4 or 5 year deal.
Yeah, and also just with where the Avalanche are going in recent years, McKinnon expires in 5 years, including this coming season, I believe.
Yeah.
And so if you're Cale Makar, maybe you do sign for 5 years and see where the salary cap world is in 5 years and reassess some of your options. I don't think that's a bad business move for him.
It's not. I mean, it's just the way, like you said, the cap's going, it's just going to keep going up. And Cale took such a good deal last time for the Avs, where even when he signed it, he was like the 8th highest paid defenseman or something like that.
He was pretty up there, but it was not as much as it could have been. Because basically the story goes is he gave them a blank check. It was like, what do I need to do to make sure that this team can stay together and we can win?
Yeah. And he did that. Like, he took such a team-friendly deal last time. It's just, you got to think about it as a human being. You want to maximize the amount of money you're going to make in your lifetime. Why not just sign like a 4-year, $80 million deal or 5-year, $100 million deal, and then in 5 years you're back at it again, and you can sign another 4 years, maybe $25 million. I don't know. Who knows what that's going to be like?
Because again, Cale is 27.
Yeah.
If he signs an 8-year deal, that takes him till he's 35, and maybe just exiting his prime, he'll get still a pretty sizable deal. But then we're starting to talk about like the 2-3 year deals, like the shorter term, like he's done with the big contracts. If he signs a 3, 4, 5 year deal that takes him to 30, 31, 32, he'll still get a big contract at that age. Still early 30s, you can argue, especially for an elite athlete like that, that's still very much his prime. So if you're looking at it specifically from a Cale Makar perspective, especially you've seen what a lot of other superstars in the league are doing now.
Yep.
That just makes the most business sense to go and do. Obviously, the Avalanche want to sign him for 8 years, but it's the conversation we've had on this extension multiple times over. Cale's going to get whatever he wants.
Mm-hmm.
The Avalanche do not have the bargaining power to be like, well, we want you for 8 years, so if we're going to do that, can you get it's Cale Makar. The reason why he's not going to leave is because the Avs are going to give him whatever he wants.
Yeah.
That's not the issue.
No, it's not. And I am just like, I couldn't be bothered by it. It's just, it's, I'm sure Joe Sakic hates that he has to have those types of conversations before an alumni game, but it's the most pressing topic that is in Avs Nation right now is getting Cale Makar signed. That's the most pressing, thing. And it's going to happen. It would just be very funny if they don't do it until like 20 minutes before puck drop against LA.
That would be very funny, I will say. It is funny to think about us as Avs fans, we've been through this a time or two when it comes to some of our superstars. They've all ended at multiple points.
Yep.
McKinnon was signed right before training camp in September.
Mm-hmm.
Gabe Landeskog went 10 minutes before the deadline for the 8-year contract on June 30th. Marty Necas signed mid-season in November last year. Devon Toews was like 2 weeks into the season. Mikko Rantanen got traded.
Yeah.
Like we've seen it end at any given point. So there's really no timetable to nail down when this really could happen if the 8 years is off the table and it removes the CBA deadline.
Yeah. It could just, like I said, it's going to be Cale's just going to, the Avs go with a blank check. I think they'd love to get more than 4 years on the term. I think 5 would be perfect, where him and McKinnon both are getting new contracts at the same time.
That will be a fun time.
Oh, God.
5 years from now when both McKinnon and Makar need to be renewed.
Yeah, but that's a way future us problem.
That's what we said when this first deal was signed. Here we are.
Here we are. It's just, it's going to get done. It just takes some time. And it sounds more encouraging than what we're hearing out of the Quinn Hughes camp.
Yeah. I mean, there's speculation around that in New Jersey. I've been trying to find the 8-year quote. Bailey Curtis, who was one of the people interviewing Sakic at the time, I said there's no update on extension for Cale Makar, but also said that 8 years is not a priority for Makar's contract. So there's not a lot of pressure as far as the upcoming deadline is concerned. So all the speculation, at very least, that I had about that deadline, not really a thing. I do still think there is a deadline because you don't want this dragging out. No. I don't think. I think that's just bad for business because realistically, it doesn't matter whether it gets signed September 1st or June 1st. It doesn't really make a difference. Maybe it doesn't price, but again, it's Cale. He's going to get whatever he wants anyway. But this isn't really something you want hanging over your head again.
No, and I think it's going to get to the point too where like Cale's going to get asked about it probably every day during training camp.
But that's what you're going to get if it's not signed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think eventually he'll be like 2 days of training camp questions back. Just get this fucking done. I don't want to answer any more questions.
I do think that like the reality of coming back to the rink and being around everything again, because when you're removed and you're in your individual workouts and you're with your family and you're on vacation, it can kind of sit on the back burner, let the agents handle it, that kind of thing. Once you get back in the building and everyone starts asking you again, then you might start to see some urgency because like that does make things move. Because again, it's not like Cale's the only one not getting extended right now. Nothing is happening in this entire league.
No, nothing. Absolutely nothing is going on. Nothing is going on. But we'll continue talking about it with Cale probably until it gets signed. But again, I'm still like, if I were to put my confidence rating, it's a 99.5% chance it gets done.
Yeah, I mean, we talked. You brought up the Mikko Rantanen thing earlier, and I do think it's interesting to note that by all accounts, they had a deal done in the offseason. Then the Draisaitl thing happened, and you might look at that and say, "But what about Quinn Hughes right now?" I would say they stand on very equal ground right now when it comes to their contracts, and Quinn is a lot more volatile than Cale, and the Draisaitl thing for almost single-handedly removed Mikko Rantanen from the Colorado Avalanche, which I think is a very interesting rabbit hole to go down. Mm-hmm. You can almost think of Cale Makar as being Draisaitl here, though, right?
Yes.
Like, because he's going to set
the market for Quinn Hughes.
Right. And vice versa. Like, Cale Makar's contract is going to set the market for every defenseman for however long that contract ends up being.
Yes. That's where I kind of feel it's going to land because it's the Quinn Hughes is just weird. Like I saw like something, I don't know if it was Friedman or someone said that like basically they haven't talked, like Minnesota and them haven't talked about a contract extension. Like I just, that is weird to me that they haven't done that.
I mean, that they could be lying.
It could be, but it's just, I don't know. Like I'm in just the spot with Cale where I feel like he's very much in that Draisaitl side where when it came to Draisaitl, it was kind of like, yeah, you get whatever you want.
Yeah, I've found that quote that you're talking about right now. Elliot Friedman said, "I don't think there has been a ton of talks between Hughes and the Wild." So if we're comparing these two right now, that is much higher on the sweat scale than Cale Makar, because Quinn Hughes hasn't been on the Wild for a calendar year at this point. Cale's been in Colorado for a hot minute at this
almost
point.
10 years now. Yeah.
Right. Like I'm still at a 0 when it comes to panic on stuff. Even once that deadline passes, maybe I'll go to a 1 of like, okay, 8 years is officially off the table. But I think I've kind of already made that leap in my mind that that's already not going to happen. So it doesn't really change anything. I think it's just once they're on the ice and it's not done, that's when you start to have questions. But I just can't picture this going to a point where he doesn't come back. I can see it maybe getting contentious, but I also don't think the Avs are willing to let it get to that point.
No. They won't. Like, it's just, this is the number one priority of the offseason. It's the number one. Like, it's just, they're going to get it done. I'm not worried about it. And we just go from there.
Yeah.
Just go from there. But that wasn't the only player they brought up in Sakic's comments. They asked about Artturi Lehkonen. It sounds like that's been on like the back burner, and they haven't even turned on the stove yet for an Artturi Lehkonen extension.
Yeah, I would be very surprised if this happened before the season. I'll be honest, I might be surprised if it happens during the season. I almost think this is something that we figure out in June, honestly, because I do think they want to see how his season goes.
Yep.
I think they want to see how available he is, if he's able to sustain the level of play that you've been getting from him, because this is a very tough contract to figure out. Where I'm 100% that Cale Makar is going to stay. I think I'm like 50-50 when it comes to Lecky.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
I mean, I love Artturi Lehkonen. This is not coming from a place of hate. I love Artturi Lehkonen a lot. He's one of my favorite players on this team, but he's 31 and is going to be 32 next year. The way this team's going, can you hand out a $7.5, $8 million contract?
It goes back to the point we were making earlier in the offseason where, like, this is the year, because if they fall short again, there's going to be sweeping changes to this team, like huge changes. And like you said, I love Artturi Lehkonen. I love what he brings to this team. He is, I think, kind of a Nathan MacKinnon merchant when it comes to offensive numbers.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. But when it comes down to the brass taxes of it, he's hurt. He hasn't even played an 82-game season for the Avs yet. I don't think he has.
He's played one 82-game season, and it was in Montreal. Since he's come here, it's been 64, 45, 69, and 70, which, again, 70's fine. I have no issue with 70, but he's also been hurt in a lot of these playoff runs. And this is not trying to disparage Artturi Lehkonen and make a case that they shouldn't be signing him, but, like, this is a tough conversation that you have to have about him. Because his next contract, he could realistically walk in the offseason and go to Chicago and get $8 million on a 4 or 5 year deal.
100%.
I don't think that's remotely unrealistic with the way the salary cap is going and the production that he has put out over the last several years. He's going to be a valuable player that a lot of other teams want.
Yeah. And it's just, there's nothing I'd want more than Lecky to finish his career with the Avs, but it's going to be, it's the shitty part of the salary cap where he could be one of those guys that you just, unless he takes just another insane deal, which is what he did after we won the cup, it's really hard to imagine him taking less than 7.
I think that's completely off the board with where the cap's going.
Like 7 is probably the lowest he'd go.
Yeah, 7's a discount.
Yeah.
Really, like for what he could get on the market, assuming he has another 20-goal season approaching 50 points again, like he's going to go and get that.
What did Mason Marchman just get? Didn't he get like 7.5?
It was around, I think it was the term that had people flinch. I have to find that.
It might have been in the mid-6s, actually, now that I'm thinking.
It was 6.75 with no trade clause until 2031.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, that's – Artturi Lehkonen's better than Mason Marchman. Like, we can all agree on that. So, 7 may be a discount. at that point with where the cap's going. I just think they're going to let it ride. It may be one of those deals that gets done in like January, and we're like, oh, remember when we said like they weren't going to get this done?
Yeah,
but
I really do think this is a June thing.
Yeah,
I think this goes the whole season.
I want to see a contract year for Lecky. Like I want to see what he's going to do, and it could result in 60 points, 30 goals, maybe. Like that's not out of the realm of possibilities for him. I would love to see that if that gets to be the point. And now, if the Avs go and win a Stanley Cup, he's coming back 100%. Like they're not going to let him walk out the door.
Might raise his price out the roof.
Price, you're right. Yeah. But it's just one of those ones where when Sakic said that, I was like, duh, no duh.
Yeah. It's just an interesting one because they're not trading him.
Nope.
That's not going to happen unless they're getting a certified upgrade, which I don't know. There's a ton of realistic Artturi Lehkonen upgrades out there. There are, but not for $4.5 million.
Nope.
And like they love him, they want to keep him, but they have to keep in mind the age of this hockey team. And if Artturi Lehkonen is willing to take a 2 to 3 year deal, I think you go and do that 100%. But he's going to probably want a longer contract.
Yeah, it's his last contract. More than likely.
This is his last big contract, and realistically, he never really got the big contract before because he sacrificed that by taking 5 years on his next deal with this team.
What a deal, man!
That's why in the moment I was like, that is insane.
Yeah.
To sign that contract. It's an amazing contract for this team, but I would have been happy with that for 1 year.
Yeah.
He signed it for 5.
Yeah, God, remember how good of times that was? Good times, man. Good times. But we're like we said, I think 50-50 may be a little gracious where if he's coming back or not. I think I'm more like 65-35 he comes back.
They're good. I think they're gonna do everything they can.
Yeah.
I don't think that they're just going to hand wave Artturi Lehkonen of all people and be like, thank you for your service. They love this guy. They want to keep him. He's been an integral part of this team for a long time. He's not old enough yet that it becomes a real concern. But if you lock him down for 5 more years, then it does start to become something that you have to consider. And I think they do need to start thinking about like youth movement on this team. And like, what if Gavin Brindley shows out this year? What if that happens? Can you still afford to hand out $7.5 million to Artturi Lehkonen?
Yeah, Gavin Brindley would be sweet. That would be really good for you. You would be hyped if he does that. For me, I when I look at Artturi Lehkonen, it's going to be what does his camp want money wise? Because like you say, he took such a big discount. He needs to make $8 million at minimum probably on this next deal.
I think with where the cap's going, I think that's what he gets in unrestricted free agency. If he were to go to a Chicago or a San Jose or a team with a ton of cap space, I think you're realistically in the 7 ballpark. Yeah. And like, as we discussed on Hockey Mountain High earlier, like 5 years is not out of the question for Lecky.
I really thought that was you who put that comment in there.
It
kind of threw me off.
I'm not typing on Facebook, I promise.
I was like, wait a second, what's going on?
That is not me, I promise. But if you really think about it, they might just sign Lecky and deal with it later. Like as we've talked about, like with currently the Kadri deal, Brett Kulak, they might just say, Taze, let's sign him for 5 years. And if it gets bad, we'll figure it out. But we also want Artturi Lehkonen on this hockey team as opposed to otherwise, which now that we've talked about, I think is the more reasonable solution.
Yeah. But again, that contract, like that could get, if there's one player who can handle probably being asked about his contract, it's Artturi Lehkonen because he's just not going to
not going to do it.
Yeah.
He's not going to answer.
He's not going to ansser the question. I don't speak English. Like we're good.
I don't like you and I don't speak English.
Yeah, I'm good.
He's my favorite player on the team. I love him.
Like that's one player who can handle it. And the probably the most comment you'll hear is like Artturi Lehkonen's dad on Finnish radio being like, yeah, they offered him this much. And Lecky would be like, God damn it, Dad, shut the fuck up.
Stop.
Yeah. Stop it. I want Lecky to stay here. It's just, we'll have to see where the cap's at. And this year it's the end of this era of this like 3-year run with this team. And do you want to keep running it back and finishing top of your division, losing in the second or conference final. Like it's going to be, it's an interesting discussion we're going to have at the end of this year.
And I think it'd be different if he was on this team for longer and he was not a pending UFA. Because if he wasn't and you were changing things, you could get a lot for an Artturi Lehkonen, and that would make that a lot more palatable. Him leaving for nothing, though, I don't think is on the table.
No. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm, again, like that one is going to be a fascinating conversation we're going to have throughout the year. The only other really news we got from the alumni game was
there was another extension that got discussed here as well.
Jared Bednar.
Or lack thereof with Jared Bednar. I found Sakic's comments on this to be pretty interesting, where he immediately brought up, well, there's been plenty of players and coaches who have gone into their final year of the contract with no extension.
Yeah.
Didn't say that with Makar. Said that with Jared Bednar, which
Brian Windhorst fingers up like, wait a second.
Makes me think there's not one coming, which, again, we had talked about whether or not Bednar makes it to the end of the season. Post-playoff is another conversation. We both kind of just expected him to just get an extension to avoid him being a lame duck coach. Doesn't really sound like that's going to happen, which I found was interesting.
When's the last one who was a lame duck head coach? Was it Sullivan?
The last one I can remember is Barry Trotz.
Yeah, that worked out pretty well.
For him.
Yeah, for him. I mean, you got to stand the cup out of it. So
yeah.
That's another one where I'm kind of in the same boat as Lecky. Like, if he gets announced a contract extension, cool. I expected it. If he doesn't, it sounds like what Sakic was saying, that they've, like, Jared's knows where he's at. Like, he's confident in himself and the team. Like, there could be a realistic opportunity. He's just a lame duck head coach.
Yeah. I can give the exact quote again, where Sakic said, everything's great. Not worried about that. There have been plenty of coaches and players that have entered the last years of their contracts, and they're going to be in the future. Not really concerned about that. I don't think Jared is either. So doesn't sound like there's tension, but also doesn't sound like there's one coming.
No, but it's also like we know this. It's an unfortunate thing with Bedsy. We've talked about it, where you can't fire Nathan MacKinnon. You can't. You're not getting rid of Nathan MacKinnon. You're not getting rid of Marty Natchez. You're not getting rid of Cale Makar. The coach is the sacrificial lamb for so many things. And it was so disheartening. That Vegas series they just got their ass kicked and they made no adjustments. And I think Sakic's in the right for thinking, like, we're going to see how this plays out. We're going to see.
That's to me what that comment said, is like, we have nothing against Jared Bednar. We want him to be the coach of the team, but we're going to see how this plays out, because if this does go pretty badly for whatever reason, I don't think it will, but like if they flame out in the first round or bow out unimpressively again, like,
what is the bare minimum for him to keep his job? I know we've talked about this.
It depends, because we said last year they have to make the conference final. They did. They made the conference final, but that didn't make Jared Bednar's seat any colder because of how they lost. Yeah. Pete DeBoer made the conference final 3 years in a row with Dallas. He got fired because of how he handled the Edmonton series, the very last go around. So, like, they could make it to the conference final again. The same thing could happen again, and we could have the same conversation. They could go into the first round with, like they did in 2020 against Dallas, with basically their entire team hurt. And at that point, can you pin it on the coach? Like,
yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what the bare minimum is for him.
They got to win, man. Like, that's it. They got to win.
Like,
it's going to be tough to accept any other result than winning this coming year.
What happens, like, if we go back and rewrite history where they lose to Vegas in 7? I probably think that this contract
is a holder seat for sure.
Yeah, the contract is probably already done. Yeah. It's just the fact that they got their ass kicked for 4 straight games and there was 0 adjustments made, that you go, maybe we don't need to give him the extension quite yet.
Yeah, I do think there is a measure of, we're going to need to wait and see, prove that you can change.
Yeah.
Like, I think I've been right on this for years. They want to exhaust every possible chance before he is not the coach of this team anymore. They want so badly for him to prove that he deserves to keep this job.
Yeah. And I'm cool with it. Like, it's, I went back and listened to the the Game 4 podcast.
I did too. Yeah,
man, that was it's a completely different tune of what we were saying then, because I think both of us were in that moment. We were like, yeah, fire him. Like this is pathetic. Like you cannot.
Well, I will give us credit because we also did say is like, but also wait until Edmonton hires a coach, because we also didn't want to hand Jared Bednar right to him. Like we still understood where we were at that point, and then once the dust settled, we were 2 weeks later. It's like, okay, there's no one else to hire. Like you're not getting a better coach.
No, not getting a better coach. So I think he's going to coach the whole year probably without a contract,
unless they are out of the playoffs in March. I think.
Yeah, and then you hit the John Tortorella button.
Yeah.
But here's the thing about the Avs, and I think this is just kind of that's what I love about them, is they don't make snap decisions where, like, you look at Vegas is very much like something goes wrong, it's fire the coach, and it's worked for them so far.
Sure.
But a majority of the time when you do that, it's not good. Like it just isn't. Like cycling through coaches is not good in majority of sports. Like it's not. Like Vegas has been that way. Who else? Edmonton's been that way. Like, what is this? Connor McDavid, in just the years we've been doing this podcast, is fourth coach.
Yeah, like it's hard to get off the coaching carousel once you're on it.
Yeah, like it's just, you need stability, and that's what Bednar provides. But there is, like, for the first time in probably 4 years, like it is legitimately like hot seat for Jared Bednar.
Yeah, like the result of this season matters for him as to whether or not he's going to keep his job. And I think everyone in the organization is rooting for him to keep it.
Yeah.
But if they go up against Dallas in the first round again and lose in the same fashion that they have lost ever since they've won the Stanley Cup, you're running out of arguments. Yep. You're running out of excuses, and you got to do something. Clearly, the ceiling on this team has been hit.
Is there any, like, I'm not in tune with it, like, is John Cooper's seat hot at all?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Like he has 2 Stanley Cups, obviously, and 4 Stanley Cup Finals appearances? Because was he the coach when they lost to the Hawks?
2015, 2020, 2021, 2022. Yeah.
Yeah, so 2 Stanley Cups, like it's a little bit different, but he's like, the Lightning have been very disappointing in the playoffs since the last time they made the Cup final against the Avs. Like they've lost in the first round, every single time?
Yeah.
No, they made because that was the year they beat Florida in the second round. Yeah, they've lost to Florida 2 times.
Yeah, Toronto, Florida, Montreal.
Yeah. Like they've been even more of a disappointment playoff-wise than the Avs. And they're still keeping John Cooper.
Yeah. Like, these are the 2 longest tenured coaches in the NHL.
Yeah.
I think it just comes down to these organizations know what they have with these guys, that you're not getting better.
No,
you're not getting better behind the bench, but they're going to exhaust every possible resource before they do that.
And you look at it too, like I just don't think the Avs have like an up and coming head coach. Like the Caps had Carberry just in Hershey, ready to roll. Like
he spent some time in Toronto too.
Yeah, spent some time in Toronto. Dan Muse wasn't he the AHL coach there?
I don't remember where he was from, but yeah, basically.
Like they don't have a young up and coming coach who's ready to take the reins, because the Eagles have they've lost. This will be their 3rd coach, and
they lost Letestu. Now that is an interesting one to keep an eye on, because they did pull that superstar coach to coach the Eagles. If he hits, that could be.
Yeah, he wasn't it the Kitchener Rangers coach?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly, but
yeah. Like that could be something, but it is. I think it makes it a little bit more. It's harder to fire a guy when you don't have someone ready to take the reins. Like there's no way in hell I want Dave Haxtell being the coach.
No,
no shot.
I barely want him as the assistant currently.
Yeah, I barely want him as the assistant. Like it's just a very weird spot with Bedsy where the seat's hot. It's hot. Like there is a fire underneath his butt. But there's just, until you find something that's going to work, I just don't see a world where you fire him. Like what was it? Didn't the Knights fire Gallant like in New York and left him there?
Yeah, or was it his team before? Was it the Panthers that did?
It might have been the Panthers, but like I just don't see the Avs doing something like that.
Yeah, like they're not gonna do. I can't see a world where realistically Bednar's fired before the end of the season. But man, there's a lot riding on this year.
Yep,
a lot.
Yeah.
so much. Like the future of this team hinges on this coming season.
Is it not just eerily similar to 2022?
A little bit. Yeah, I'd say. Especially like you just lost to Vegas, embarrassingly so. Wonder where the future's going to go. We can cope. Like the cope never ends. You can always draw a comparison to championship teams, right?
Yeah.
It was 5 years between the 96 and 2001 team.
Yep. We're going full cope, and that's okay. That's okay. That's where we're at, and I'm going to believe that that's true. But again, with Bedsy, like it sounds like they're at least communicating. It's not like it's just been like nothing with them. It's just, hey, we're going to rock and roll. We'll see how this goes.
If he gives them any excuse to keep him, they will. Yeah, like that. I think that's where they are with it.
Yeah,
but I think we're all seeing it right now that they run into a wall. Yep. Like they hit a ceiling in the playoffs at a certain point, and for whatever reason they can't overcome deficits in the playoffs. They can't overcome certain playing styles. They have to do that this year, because if they run into Dallas and lose, or if they somehow avoid Dallas and then run into Vegas in the conference finals and lose, and you're back in the same spot every year, that's going to be a tough conversation.
Yeah, very tough. Very, very tough. But yeah, then the alumni game happened. I love Altitude. I think they do a great job. Could they not get these announcers some better microphones for this game? Like, what are we doing here, man? It's like it sounded like Mark Mosier was talking in a 1950s radio.
Like, I thought that was just funny. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, no, I was just like, what are we doing here? Like, it's not like DU is like a bad hockey arena. Like, Magnus is one of the better college barns out there, and we're just like, we have these guys talking into a 1950s radio right now, man.
Yeah, I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, but it is just like the nostalgia I see when Sakic and Forsberg and Hayduk are out there. Unbelievable. And I don't know if we've ever told this story on the pod, but it was probably 3 years ago. I was golfing at a golf course and I saw Milan Hayduk, and I literally called you probably for the first time ever. And I was like, dude, Milan Hayduk's here. And you're like, oh, dude, that's crazy. Like, you should ask him to come on the pod. And I was like, no, I can't do that. He's golfing. Like, we had a conversation, like getting golf balls. And I was like, yeah, I can't do it. And I finally mustered up the courage. He was on the putting green, like the practice putting green. And I was like, hey, Milan, like I'd kill myself if I didn't ask. We host an Avalanche podcast. We would love to have you on. And he gave me an email address, and he gave me a fake email address.
Nice.
I sent that email address, probably 4 or 5 emails, just gave me a fake email address.
Or he just ignored you.
No, it came back like I thought I typed it in wrong. It was like, this is not an email address. So, yeah, still after Milan Hayduk, but also I don't blame him when a complete stranger comes up to you while you're practicing putting.
Yeah. I mean, I would have done the exact same thing.
Correct.
You're an intimidating guy. I don't want you having my contact info.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, but we're still chasing Milan Hayduk. Still chasing him.
One day we'll have Milan Hayduk on the show and we'll tell him that story, because he does not remember that.
No shot he remembers the guy coming up to him while he's practicing putting. To ask if he wants to be on a podcast. No shot.
Exactly.
No shot. But that's my Milan Hayduk story.
And on that note, we're going to take a quick break, get some words from our sponsors, hit the money button, and we will be back in about 30 seconds.
The Labor Day sales event is here, and your local Ford stores proudly salute you. From job sites to open roads, Ford trucks and SUVs move the people who move the nation. It's time you discover why J.D. Power says Ford is #1 in new vehicle quality among mainstream brands. To the ones who keep America moving, these deals are for you. Now get big cash back, low APR financing, or amazing lease offers on Ford's best sellers. Hurry, it all ends September 7th, only at your local.
The biggest contest we've ever seen.
Seriously, what's the guarantee?
They're still talking about it.
I think it's time to put the rumors to rest.
Showtime!
$30 million.
$30 million?
$30 million? $30 million?
That's $30 million guaranteed. 3 contests, multiple ways to win, no rate. Entry starting at $1,000. Enter in Nevada, played from anywhere.
Oh. All right, what are you chuckling about?
our social experiment that we talked about before we went on the pod is gaining traction.
It is gaining traction. That's good.
I had a Syracuse news journalist follow me on Twitter.
We're at 30 minutes into this thing and it's already going too far.
It's fucking hilarious. But that's why I'm laughing, because there's actually people being like, "Wait, is this true?"
It's you could just tweet anything, and people are like, "Is this true?"
Yeah, I want to be right so bad. That would be so funny if I got the breaking news on it. But yeah, I mean, honestly, like the alumni game looks like a blast. We need to get out there for one of them when
we need to remembe it happens and then go do it.
Did you see how many people got mad that Ryan Miller was the Avs goalie?
I did see something about that.
Yeah. And I was just like, it's an alumni game. Who gives
alumni game?
And then Ryan Miller was just like, yeah, John Michael Isles offered to pay for a round of golf for me. So I did it. I was like, okay, cool. Like that's all we needed there, man.
Yeah, it solves everything.
Yeah, it solves everything. We're good to go.
He does look incredible in that Avs jersey.
Yes.
I will say.
Yes. But that was because he was Sabres, Blues, Canucks, Ducks.
Sounds right off the top of my head.
That sounds about right. But I thought that was funny. Just like it's an alumni game. Who gives a fuck?
I thought you'd have more of an issue with it because he said that him and John Michael Isles go back to Michigan State.
That's little brother. I don't care.
Okay.
It's just like little brother. Little brother stays doing little brother thing.
It's your profile picture though. Is that game?
Yeah, and it'll always be my profile picture. That's another funny story. My roommate in college made that for me, and I was so mad when he did it. And then it's been my profile picture forever now on there. I'm just like, I'm gonna keep it at this point. The surrendering Cobra, but other Avs stuff. The national TV schedule was announced today. Again, people getting mad about that. I would prefer the Avs had 0 nationally televised games.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I'm mad about it because it exists at all.
Yeah.
Like, so for those of you who don't know, the Avalanche have 16 national televised games this year. Most of them are Central games.
Yep, which blows because like the Central Division, like 3 of the 4 games against Minnesota are going to be nationally televised. 3 of the 4.
Back-to-back on October 13th and 14th against Dallas. Both are on national television. And Minnesota, all national television, all in March and April, by the way, as we talked about when the schedule came out.
Yeah, it's just I would prefer the Avs had like 1 nationally televised game.
Yeah. Also, I have a complaint. If it's an ESPN Plus exclusive, it's not a nationally televised game.
No.
And it does not count.
No. I agree. But the Avs have like 5 ESPN Plus games?
Yeah. But it's like you see all these teams with like 20, like Boston had like 20 nationally televised games. It's like, well, 6 of them are on ESPN Plus. What channel is ESPN Plus on? That's not a nationally televised game. That's a streaming service.
I have seen like on DirecTV though. They have like ESPN Plus channels on like the DirecTV cable guide.
Yeah, because we're just slowly working our way back to
cable. Yeah, and that's just the way it is.
I did see something. There was like some like browser extension for YouTube that would like have it broken into channels, and you would like join a YouTube video like halfway through it.
Okay.
You would browse your YouTube page like you would TV. And people, they yearn for cable. They want normal cable back.
Yeah, they want it back, but that's crazy. That just seems like just watch TV at that point. The reason I go to YouTube is because I don't want to watch.
We're LARPing television now.
We're doing it. So, the Avs, like I said, is there like a nationally televised game you're excited for? Like the Stars are going to be
not
awesome.
Because it's a national televised game. I mean, we only have one ABC game, which is the very last one against Minnesota, which is probably not going to matter. It's either going to matter a ton or not at all.
Agreed. There's just going to be nothing going on with it. Obviously, the Winter Classic, that's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, that's the easy answer.
That's the easy answer. The Hurricanes Avs one, it's a shame that's an ESPN Plus game, but that'll be
not a nationally televised game.
A nationally televised game. The Oilers ones could be fun because they're all
of them.
2 of them are.
Yeah, 2 of them in pretty short order.
Yeah, and like within a month.
Yeah,
and they're both
are on schedule. Avs Blackhawks nationally televised game because we have to have one of those every year.
Yep, smack dab in the middle. I don't know. Like it's just so basically a quarter of the season is going to be nationally televised.
Yeah, which sucks.
Yeah,
it's funny because every fan base feels like that too.
Like it's insane. Like the Avs had, who was it that had the most? The Bruins
had like 20.
Yeah, that sucks.
It's the same teams every year. The Bruins have 20. The Rangers, no matter how good or bad they are, have 18. The Penguins are not far behind. The Caps are usually up there too.
The Caps make sense though because it could be Ovi's last year.
Yeah, so, I think they had like 18.
Yeah, like that makes sense. Like I'm cool with that. Didn't you say all of the Penguins Caps games are ESPN Plus games though?
They're all nationally televised, but some of them are ESPN Plus. The Caps only had, not including ESPN Plus games, 2 home games that are nationally televised, and they're Pittsburgh and Philly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I get the national television is important, like blah, 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 blah. I just want to be able to watch.
My favorite is people who use it as like a litmus test for like, oh, these are the most marketable teams. Like,
no. Like, Toronto only has like 5, I think.
Yeah. Well, like they're not showing Canadian teams in America.
Outside of McDavid.
You know any nationally televised games? Toronto has like 82 because they're in Canada.
They're in Canada. And I don't know. I just would prefer to watch the Altitude broadcast. It's just,
I wish we just had the option. I wouldn't mind if we could just still watch. But that's the thing with the ESPN Plus games is you can.
Yeah.
So it's not a nationally televised game. By your own metrics, it's not nationally televised.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it's just people have their gripes with the Altitude broadcasts that are outsiders, but like everyone
not for you.
Colorado, they love
not
it.
For you.
And like it makes it fun to watch the Avs is when you're watching Mosier, Kyle Keefe, Riker, John Michael Laus, like all those.
I'm sorry you got annoyed in the 15-second clip you saw while you were doom scrolling.
Yeah, about
for you.
Like the Goblin, butter my biscuit and call me or something.
Funny.
Like that. That's funny. Like that, but you get that joke because you listen to it all year and you hear like on the pregame.
Right. Like again, if you're making a comment on a broadcast that you watch for 15 seconds on a TikTok.
Yeah. Like it's just, I would prefer to have it that way. And I think a lot of people in the Avs Nation would feel that way too. I don't want to hear John Buccigross talk about how Zachary LaRue played at some college. Like I don't care.
He makes me miss Pierre Maguire.
I do kind of miss Pierre Maguire.
He was like, you didn't like him, but there was like a charm to it because he knew everything.
Yeah.
He might not have been able to like
articulate
put the connecting tissue together and form a coherent thought, but he knew all the fun facts.
Yeah. Like Pierre Maguire was funny, man.
Dude, and then Ottawa gave him a job.
Yeah.
That was funny.
That Pierre Dorian. Yeah. Remember that? Oof.
Yeah.
Oof. But it's I'm trying to think. Like, I don't mind the TNT ones actually as much. TNT is at least
more palatable.
Yeah, like if it's TNT, I think it was only like 6 of the games were TNT though, which means we're getting 10 on
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, 6, 7. Yeah, I mean, I like the TNT crew a little bit more. I just like Kenny Albert.
It's a better broadcast all over.
If we get Bob Shoes and Eric Johnson for majority of the ESPN games, I'm cool with that. I can live with that. It's just if I get Sean McDonough and Ray Ferraro jammed in my face again, I'm gonna fucking lose it. Like I still have that Ray Ferraro, this fucking dumbass complaining about what goal was it in the Vegas series? It might have been Dorofeev where
the punch one in game 3. Yeah,
and we talked about it for like 3 periods. I was like, shut the fuck up! Like
then we still lost.
Like Vegas already won. Why are we still talking about disallowed goal in the first fucking period, man? Like, shut up, Ray.
That actually, I did listen to the game 3 one because personally I thought game 3 was a lot more cutting from us than game 4. I listened to that one again. We didn't even talk about that. We actually brought up the fact that we're not going to talk about it because it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. But like, I still have Ray Ferraro and Sean McDonough's dumbasses in my head just talking low. Like, it is just so weird because Sean McDonough's like, I can listen to Sean McDonough call a football game, no problem. But hockey's
not his cup of tea.
Yeah, hockey guy. Give me Bob Shoes, man.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's a bad. Like he's very good at college football, but
college football, NFL. Like I'll take Sean McDonough, but like hockey, give me Bob Shoes. And I actually don't mind Mike Monaco, the ESPN, like that guy. He's not bad. TNT just has Kenny Albert and Brian Burke, and I'm like, yeah, sign me up.
Yeah, much better.
Sign me up for those 2. But that's the nationally televised stuff going on. Too many games.
Also, like we always have a nationally televised game against Boston.
Yep.
Every single time.
Yep.
Like, are they always like softly predicting that's going to be like a Stanley Cup matchup at some point? Because
probably
once a year.
I'm surprised they didn't. That we don't have like a nationally televised game against Florida. I am surprised by that.
We don't register on the Florida Richter scale. They have a lot of other rivals they got to deal with.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
How many did they get? I don't really think I remember seeing
I think
how many
they got 17 or 18.
Yeah. Imagine saying that 5 years ago.
Yeah. The Panthers have that many. What?
It's like, what happened? Yeah, the Panthers are also the scariest franchise in the entire league by a country mile, and everyone hates them. But meanwhile, 10 years ago, if you even thought about the Florida Panthers.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I think it was one of the surprising. I think the Sabres only had like 8 or 9. Which was really surprising.
I really should have kept this list. I'm sure it's somewhere. But.
Yeah, it's somewhere. But I was a little surprised by that. So just a couple teams that, like, does Boston need to have 20? Can we just spread those out to, like...
Yeah. Detroit had 17.
That makes sense. An original 16.
Yeah. Florida had 15.
Okay.
And where am I looking for? The Sabres had 14.
14. Okay.
That's not too bad.
Not too bad. How many does San Jose?
Surprising ones on here. I mean, Vancouver is 0. Calgary has 0. Winnipeg has 1. And Edmonton has 8. Toronto has 3. I feel like the spread here is pretty good. I'm looking for like American teams that didn't get a ton. Anaheim only got 7.
Interesting.
Nashville only got 3.
Well, everyone kind of knows what Nashville's going to be.
But that stands out when Seattle got 7.
Yeah. It does feel weird because, like, for like the entire ESPN contract, they've been trying to force feed us like Anaheim and San Jose, and now that they're actually like kind of good, why are we not being forced?
Yeah, San Jose got 11. That feels kind of low.
It does feel kind of, with especially it being a West Coast, like it's a prime opportunity for like when.
Yeah, because these are usually double headers.
Yeah,
that, like you put on the West game later, so it is strange to see how many East teams get it versus West teams that don't, because you think it would be pretty even.
Yeah, San Jose at 11 does seem kind of low. Like that team's gonna be really fun.
Yeah, like and Utah got 7.
Interesting.
And it was Boston and Pittsburgh tied with 20 at 1.
I can see Pittsburgh. Like Pittsburgh, they're actually like somewhat relevant again. Sidney Crosby, could be Malkin's last year.
I think they're just easy sells for national television. I think you just take a casual fan. They go, oh, I know that.
Yeah, I know Sidney Crosby.
Yeah, I know them.
Bruins, I know that one.
Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah. So that's nationally televised. As we wrap up the show here, a couple other interesting things that happened in the NHL. Somehow the Oilers are already hurt. Like,
that came through today. It's like, yeah, Freddie's out till October. He hurt himself in a workout. There's a whole bunch of other ones.
Yeah, like what are we doing here? Like, how are you hurt before the season starts?
It's Mike Babcock, man.
Yeah, he's just worked him to death already. But it is just like, what are we doing here? Like, how are you already banged up going into?
And it came from the Oilers account too, which I thought was Matthias Janmark, Matt Savoy, Alec Regula, and Freddie Anderson will not participate in training camp.
It's just weird. Like, so Freddie, like, essentially, like, he's not going to participate in training camp. Like, he's going to be back in October. Then give him another 3 weeks to get up to game speed.
Yeah. I forgot the Oilers got Devin Levi.
Yeah,
I forgot that happened. I really like that for them.
Yeah, so it'd be Levi and Jari to start the year more than likely.
Yeah,
we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens with Edmonton. I think we're both high on Edmonton for the regular season, but it'll be interesting to see. But with Freddie being out, that was like their ace in the hole.
Yeah, I just saw this poll from The Athletic. I don't know if you saw this. Which coach would you least like to play for? Did you see this? Yeah.
No, I did not.
Just who do you think was number 1?
Mike Babcock.
It was not.
Really?
He wasn't even number 2.
You'd least like to play for?
By a lot.
Oh my God, I'm probably forgetting someone crazy, aren't I?
Who do we have beef with right now for what he did to us?
Oh, John Tortorella?
Yeah, 38%.
Interesting.
Yeah, and number 2 is Bruce Cassidy.
Okay.
And number 3 is Mike Babcock. So what you might have just noticed is I just listed off the Oilers' top 3 candidates for head coach.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. I thought Torts had kind of changed his reputation after like the Vegas.
What does he do to these people, man? Yeah. Because it works for such a short amount of time, and everyone else like, I never want to play for this person again.
But then there's players like Eric Johnson who will sing Torts' praises until the end of time.
Yeah. Like he got 38%. Cassidy got 12.
Cassidy's just sitting on the sidelines this year too, right?
Yeah. That's a 26% difference.
Huh.
Between first and second.
Well, Babcock will be up there at the end of the year.
But Babcock was tied with Greg Cronin.
Yeah,
Like they both had 7.69%.
Is Greg Cronin even in the NHL?
I actually don't remember. I'm going to be so real with you. There's so much information I got to keep track of right now. He's an assistant with the Blues.
Okay. I mean, he was what a change 3 years does for him. I mean, when he was with the Eagles, it was like this guy fucking rocks.
Yeah. What do these coaches do? Is it because like they're annoying or they just don't know what they're doing?
Yeah, I don't know. Like that's crazy to me.
Yes. You know who did not get a single vote?
Jared Bednar.
Yeah.
I mean that tracks. Like the players love him.
Yeah, like he didn't even get like the also receiving votes. He wasn't even in that.
Yeah.
Also, like, he's not like he hasn't been around the league, so he's only been here.
Did Paul Maurice make the list?
Maurice. No, he did not.
Good. All right. What about Rick Bowness? Did he make the list?
Rick Bowness. No.
Oh God, this is really taking off. I have people quote tweeting me now.
You might not know what you have done here. You might have to delete this.
I may have to, but you
might have to be like, listen, this was just for fun. This is not true. I actually think for your sake, you might just be like, this is not true. I tweeted this as a joke.
No, we're riding it. We're riding it to the end. People, here's the thing, man.
You have to tweet the exact same thing tomorrow. You can't say anything else.
No, like I am legitimately the farthest thing from a news source. And if you take me seriously as a journalist, I'm not. I'm literally not a journalist. So, please, if you're listening to this, just know this is just we're making fun of people wanting to get the scoop of Cale Makar.
I do enjoy. You see Jay in your comment section being like, "I like your new friends." I mean, sources.
Yeah, it's just like let's understand something here. You do not come here for Brett.
Here's the thing: us saying it on here does not ruin the bit because no one consumes content anymore, and people are just going to take that at face value.
Yep. Like it's just, it's very, very intriguing. I think a lot of people are catching on to the joke. But
it's like an hour old.
Yeah, like it's a joke. Please know that we are not newsbreakers. We are not anything. We are just two guys who talk the Avs. If you want actual hard-hitting journalism about the Avs, go check out Evan.
Yeah.
Check out Jesse. Check out Megan.
This is a social experiment.
Yeah.
This is actually for you. This is for other people's benefit to show how quickly misinformation can spread online.
If you want actual news, go to the people who are actually covering the team. But it would just be fucking hilarious if the contract gets extended.
Imagine that drops tomorrow. Like
the dopamine I will get.
Brother, you will get money. Like you will have like a genuine people in your DMs offering to hire you.
And I will be like, you must credit me.
I broke this.
I beat Elliot.
Can you imagine responding to Evan and being like, hey, can you credit me? I broke this.
Credit me. I did tweet this out. Like Elliot Friedman. Shout out Christian Boulay on the scoop first.
Shout out to Christian, who was on this really early somehow.
It's just we're in it now, and I just hilarious. If this,
we don't realize our own power sometimes that we can just lie, and just what's going to happen?
Yeah, what are you going to do? Oh, yeah, like
I'm never listening to this show again. Okay, no one does anyway.
I've gained a lot of followers too. I've gained 4 followers.
We're getting the taste of like what it's like to engagement bait.
Yeah, this is great. This is fun.
You're not even getting the money for it yet.
No, I'm not verified on X.com. But very, very funny. Do we have anything else before we wrap up the show?
We do have one mailbag here from Justin B saying, I'm closing in on retirement and fortunate enough to be able to do this. So I've planned a trip this year to follow the Avs through Toronto, Ottawa, and finally Montreal in November. My question for you guys, if you could pick an away game gauntlet to follow the Avs through, which stretch would you choose and why? I've considered chasing them through the Pacific Coast Road Swing or even following them through a series of divisional rivalry games. I chose the Canadian games because of the incredible NHL history in those cities and with those teams. And honestly, it would be pretty cool to hear the pod on the road along the way.
First off, thanks for listening. We appreciate you. I think you hit it out of the park. I think that's the one I'd do.
Yeah,
the Canadian road trip will be awesome. I would love to do Western Canada, like go see Vancouver, Edmonton. Like if you could see every Canadian arena, I think that's the ones I'd want to do. just because of the environment, I think would be the best. And that's nothing against like American hockey, like towns and cities. Like I think Colorado has a great environment for watching games. Like Dallas is great. Like Minnesota is great. They don't have the history and the lore of the Canadian cities.
Well, because you also have to think like logistically, like travel time and like the going to all these places. Because I'm looking at the schedule right now to give like kind of a realistic answer. We have a 5-game road trip in December of like Boston, Detroit, New York, the Islanders, and the Blues. It's like some of those are pretty far apart, and like Boston, Detroit, New York could be interesting, but if you're giving me the choice, I'm doing Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal. Like that's a way more fun and interesting trip. Like Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Washington. I've been to 2 of those buildings already, and like they're fine. Buffalo would be fun, but I mean, you don't want to go to like the January road trip where we're in like Carolina, Florida, Tampa, because you're signing up to watch them lose like 7-2 every night.
Like the Canadian one just seems like the most fun, and it's just because you're traveling in a different country. Once the Flames open their new arena, I think it'd be really cool to go
at the very end of the season. It's Minnesota, Vancouver, Calgary.
Oh,
that could be a fun one.
That'd be a really fun one if you could. Like I would very much enjoy that. Minnesota would be great to go watch a game at. Like I think that would be
I actually do want to go watch games in like rival arenas. I think that would be fun. Though I've only ever really been to one like true road game as a fan. I went to Pittsburgh a year and a half ago at this point, and the Caps won that game like 8-2, and I had so much fun. It was awesome.
Like I do want to go see, and it's again, I'm not shitting on American hockey experience. Like I'm sure every arena has the perks of it, but Toronto and Montreal are fucking.
But it's like if I have to choose, like I can take one trip, a season, consecutive road trip. Of course, I'm doing the Canadian one. Logistically, it makes the most sense. Financially, probably not, but you're getting the most bang for your buck out of that. I feel like.
Oh yeah, and then when you go to Toronto, the Hockey Hall of Fame is right there too.
Exactly, like you're getting so much out of that.
Yeah, and so, Western Canada, like if there was a stretch where they went Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton, and like maybe throw Seattle in there, like that would be a fucking awesome trip.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like it's just I've been to so many places on the East Coast of America where it's like
I'm good on the East.
Yeah,
for a while.
Like it's just and it's again like if you're asking me as a fan. I hope to be in that point one day where I can do that because that would be an amazing trip. I'd eat so much poutine. It would just be amazing. And I've always wanted to go to Canada and just rub it in their face. Not since I've been alive. If you want Stanley Cup, man. Yeah. Not since I've been alive.
I'm trying to think like just arenas I would definitely want to go to. I want to go to Minnesota. I want to go to Dallas, and for true Avs road games, those are a lot of fun to like go and be the bad guy in an arena. Those are fun. Definitely want to visit the Canadian ones. I mean,
I went to Arizona. That was cool.
Yeah. Can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been to Madison Square Garden. I'm pretty set on that. Yeah.
Again, it's nothing. I just have. I feel like those are a lot more accessible than the Canadian ones.
I haven't been in T-Mobile Arena, but I was next door of it. Like I could give or take going to a game in Vegas. I feel like San Jose would be fun.
The Tank. I've been to the Tank. That's a good one. I went to that. I went to an Avs Sharks game before we were doing the pod there. That was fun. That was when the Sharks were still good and the Avs were on the up and coming. I think the Avs lost 5-1. They got their ass kicked.
Yeah.
They got their ass kicked. I think Matt Nieto had the only goal for the Avs.
That tracks.
Yeah. So, but yeah, like there's a couple, like I would love to, before I die, go to every NHL arena and watch a game. Like I'm going to count when we go to the Winter Classic as going to Utah and watching a game. Like that's going to count.
We should still go to the Delta Center at some point. Utah is like the most realistic one though.
Yes.
Right. It's like we can do that pretty easily.
Yeah. Utah and Vegas, because Vegas is.
I actually imagine we'll probably end up taking a couple Utah trips over the next few years.
Vegas is a good one too, because like even if you drive, it's only like a 12-hour drive.
Yeah.
But that's a great question. Enjoy that trip, man. Like send us pictures of it because that would be fucking awesome.
Oh yeah, we'll retweet that shit. Absolutely.
Yeah, that rocks. That rocks. But yeah, I think that you're nailing it out of the park with the 3 you're going to. Like this season, that road trip that I'd want to go on, that's the one.
Yeah. Like I think top of the list like would obviously be Montreal, right? Like you got to go to Montreal, right? Like that's what we can dump on. We can dump on Montreal all we want, but when it's time to put your money where your mouth is and go to a road game, you're picking Montreal.
Yeah, like it's the mecca of hockey.
Yeah,
like it's the Bell Center is like that's like it would be electric to be there. It would be electric, and
I'd like to go to Nashville. Honestly, I think that would
be fun. Smashville, yeah. I'll get out there. My sister's fiance is from Tennessee, and he keeps telling me he wants me to go to a game out there with him. And I'm like, yeah, I should go out there for one.
Yeah.
But
maybe in this magical fantasy world where we get more time, we can do that.
Yeah, and have more money.
Have more money and more free time. Yeah. Maybe once we're older and more cynical.
And we actually maybe when we get paid a lot of money from doing this podcast, we can.
Yeah. Oh, we make so much money on this show.
Rolling in the dough here. But yeah, I don't think I have anything else, man. Next time we probably do an episode, it'll be September, and we will be ready for the season upcoming.
Yeah, well, we're going to be doing an episode tomorrow, actually, because you just broke the news that Cale Makar is signing his contract tomorrow. So we'll see everyone tomorrow. You did this.
I know
knowing full well what was going to happen.
Just imagine if it happened.
Full well what's going to. You're like, I'm going to do this just to see if it takes off. And fucking course it will. It's August.
Just wait, man. If it happens, I will look.
You just have to keep tweeting he'll sign tomorrow until it happens.
Material change.
And then you at Elliot Friedman being like, hey, can you credit me for this? You can't break the bit. Like you got to straight face it online every day.
I'm going to. I can't wait. Like if it happens tomorrow, fucking A, man. Like that's going to be.
We've called 3 times in our friendship's history because we spend most of our time on here. That will be number 4 if Cale Makar signs tomorrow.
Oh, I want it so bad. But yeah, until tomorrow, I don't think I have anything else.
Yeah, until tomorrow when we're inevitably back. Well, we're good for today at the very least. But that is going to do it for us on this edition of the Hockey Mountain High podcast. Thank you all so very much for tuning in. If you want to follow me, you can follow me at GR Youngs. You can follow Christian for all of your breaking news and insider updates at Christian_Belay. And you can follow the show at Hockey MTN Pod. But again, thank you all so very much for tuning in, and we will catch you all next time. But until then, let's go Avs.